What the hell is up, you fucking cunts? That was a little bit of a musical intro for all the pretty ladies out there listening. Oh, shit. Never mind. I forgot that nobody even listens to this sack of shit anyways. Much less pretty ladies. But, sad stuff aside, it's your boy, the Fulcrum, and I am back. Well, God damn it. Okay, let me try that one again. I am back, welcoming one and all to the worst podcast on the face of our world, perhaps even the universe, known only as Resident Bummer. I hope you've gotten used to my sickly dulcet undertones because it's past my bedtime yet again. And baby, we're getting naughty tonight. That's right. Cross Santa off your lists, people, because he won't be visiting a single goddamn one of us this year. Plan for a light forecast of intrigue, backstabbing, and all-around good times on this week's episode. It's getting juicy, folks. Trust up. Now that we've gotten the pleasantries out of the way, we are going to jump straight into this week's journal content. No faffing or fumbling about. The first day we have here is Friday, February 8th, and it looks like the first post that I have is finish episode 2, and I feel like a fucked whore after that rough exit on the outro. Yeah, there was, on last episode's outro, for some reason, as soon as I got done with all the journal content, I just started going, "This is crazy, guys, this is crazy. Oh my God, how crazy is this?" Because I couldn't, smoothly transition into the fucking outro like a normal person, so that's my fault, and, sorry. Next entry is the next entry is I join the Xbox Live party with Desmond and Michael, and we play a bit of Black Ops 6. I think we played just quick play, random shit. And after this, I found a joke. Oh man, I'm gonna tell a joke right now. What's better than roses on your piano? Tulips on your organ. Give me a comment if you figure that one out. That's a pretty highbrow joke, man. Next up, looks like I went to bed after finding that excellent joke, and I woke up the next morning. Apparently I didn't do, any work on my journal until fucking 4 p.m. this day because my first entry is 3:50 p.m. I clock into work, and eventually I ask my manager to help me put on a necklace. Oh, God, I forgot all about this. So I just decided that I was going to be a necklace guy. And I was looking around my room for what necklaces I just had laying around from all the years of living, I guess. And there was a little necklace with, a dolphin on it. And I was like, oh, that's a cute little necklace. I can put that on and maybe look like a little gay boy or something. Yeah. And so I realized that this particular necklace is a cunt and a half to get on by yourself. I tried looking in the bathroom mirror and putting it on myself for 15 minutes, and I just gave up eventually. And when I got into work, that was my phone vibrating because some dude I just met at the mall today texted me. We'll get into that later. But yeah, I have my manager put my necklace on me while I'm at work because I'm too fucking stupid to do it myself. And that was pretty homosexual, I can't lie. Next up, I hop onto my break and I come up with another joke. Dude, I'm going off with the jokes. This one isn't so much of a joke as it is just 3 words smashed together that I found funny. I think I did one of these, maybe episode 1, or maybe it was last episode, I can't remember, but are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Urethral implosion device. You'll have to let me know if you thought that was funny. I thought it was funny in the moment, now I'm reading it back, maybe not so funny. Darn. Next up, we've got an entry from 6:40 p.m. I clock off and I go and change at the mall. And then I start the Neighborhoods album by Blink-182. I'm not going to lie, I cannot remember much about the Neighborhoods album just by name alone. So, and I'm also not going to go and look up what songs are on that album. So if you know, excellent. I did not commit that to memory. So moving on, 8:59 p.m. It's a weird time code, but that's fine. I finish small edits on episode 2, and I absolutely fuck the crop up entirely. I retry the edits while watching a Thor critique that Jack sent over to me. You remember I mentioned Jack was talking me up, and he was like, "Oh, I found this thing that I was watching, and it was kind of interesting." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I could ever watch that. I like that thing that's being criticized way too much." And he was like, "Oh, I wouldn't expect you to watch it." And I was like, "Damn, I could have just challenged myself there and been like, send it over. I want to look into that. I want to challenge myself, see why the good movies I think are good are actually a little bit worse than maybe they actually are." Or the other way around. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Fuck off. Yep, I watched that Thor critique while the export continues, and then after that, at 10:40 p.m., I get very, very close to killing the Guardian Ape in Sekiro. But I had paused the game as the boss is in the middle of some animation that I know is going to take a really long time for the boss to recover from. So I know I had time. I paused the game, and I'm like, okay, I've got the Guardian Ape very close to death. I am going to keep the game paused, head over to my PC, and work on getting this episode of Resident Bummer uploaded. And yeah, I finally got the export all situated, and at 11 p.m., I sit back down, and I kill that stupid fucking prick of a fucking monkey, and I waited for the fucking upload to happen in 4 minutes after I killed him. God, that was so satisfying to kill that fucking Guardian Ape. And I'm not even sure. I haven't had really any motivation to play after I killed that ape. I'm pretty sure I haven't picked it up and done anything meaningful in Sekiro since that point, so I'm just kind of decompressing. Still, a week later, it looks like. Good Lord, that shit was fucked up. 11:51, it looks like I watched the spaceship episode of JoJo Part 6, and I also finished Chapter 4 of Contact Harvest. The spaceship episode was pretty fucking crazy, had some very good moments. Chapter 4 of Contact Harvest, I am forgetting what happened in that chapter right now, so I guess I could go pick up the book and figure it out, but I'm not going to do that because I'm in the middle of a goddamn motherfucking podcast, yo. Next up, it looks like at 2:30 in the morning, I send Jack a Nazi Kanye meme because, of course, Kanye's back on that Nazi bullshit. Oh my God, the memes are so good, bro. Holy crap, you could not ask for a more special individual on the face of the planet. He makes some good music in my opinion, and he also has some fucking crazy-ass dog shit takes. Well, it depends on what take you're talking about, I guess, but yeah, that looks like that was the end of February 7th's entries. Moving on to Saturday, February 8th, the first entry that we have is at 9 a.m. I wake up early with a boner, and I can't fall back asleep. Fortunately, this time I actually managed to suppress my will to jerk off. I don't do it. No baby gravy, at least not on February 8th. And then I decide to go and shave and shower and brush my teeth because I'm a good, pretty little boy that cleans up nice and eats his breakfast good. That's not true. I don't eat breakfast anymore, so that was just a total lie. But next up at 10 a.m., looks like I play Sekiro and do absolutely nothing in it for 30 minutes. Like I said, I haven't done anything meaningful in Sekiro since I killed that ape, so sue me. I switch over to Rage after doing nothing for 30 minutes, and I also do nothing in Rage for 30 minutes. So I go back to the classic and play a little bit of BioShock until at 1:20 p.m., my dad asks if I want to do taxes. And I never do, but I always have to. You know, there's two things certain in life, death and taxes. And that wasn't a funny reference, so I'm going to continue on now. 3:20 p.m., I asked my dad if he is okay with me changing my confirmation name. He thought it was a little weird, but he was like, yeah, I don't really care. Because originally I chose the same confirmation name as him. If you don't know what a confirmation name is, it's basically when you reach the final stages of your religious education, at least in Catholicism, Christian Catholicism. You have one final event known as a confirmation, where you, I believe, it is for younger audiences of the church when they transition into becoming an adult of the church, or at least the church recognizes them as adults, is how I seem to remember that whole process going down. It's been a while, so bear with me if I got some of that stuff wrong, but yeah, I have a new full name. After February 8th, Saturday, February 8th, I changed my name. Absolutely no paperwork required either. That was cool. I just straight up said, hey, this is going to be my name now. So it is. And now I've got a new name. That shit is honestly, in retrospect, weird, but I do like the name I picked, so I'm not going to tell you fuckers, though. It's a secret. It's my secret. All right, sorry about that shit. Next up, it looks like I do some taxes and then help set up a camera in our backyard. Pretty boring stuff there, so we're going to go to the next entry, 8:15 p.m. I change in the laundry room of my house and head out to the mall to finish Blink-182 and start Meghan Trainor's discography. So I was changing in the laundry room because I was trying to hide from my mom. I didn't want her to know that I was getting all dressed up, because usually when they see that I'm dressed up, they'll be like, oh, you're all dressed up. Where are you going to? And I'll be like, where am I going? Fucking nowhere. Mind your own business, bro. Not really, though. I will typically I'll either come up with like a little white lie, so that they don't know I'm heading out to the fucking mall like every day or every other goddamn day. And if I don't come up with a white lie, I'll just every once in a while be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go out to the mall, eat at the food court, fuck around. Why not? And they're like, Fulcrum, why does it take you 3 hours to finish your meal out at the mall? And I'm like, shut the fuck up, Mom and Dad. You don't know my process. Come on. What the hell? Why are you trying to fucking put me in a box? Don't do that shit. I'm not a fan. All right? Just let me do me. Yeah. Okay. Next up at 9:35, Desmond and, oh man, I actually forgot to censor a name here in my journal, so I straight up almost just outed, what's his name, Michael. I almost just outed Michael. That would have been interesting, because I am, how many minutes in? Almost 15 minutes into this recording, and wow, that would have stunk to have to redo all that. All of them have been one-shots so far. I haven't screwed any of them up, so I'm actually pretty, well, I think I've screwed every single one of them up, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Okay, good. So Desmond and Michael asked me to play some Skate 3, man. What a blast from the past. It's been maybe like 11 or 12 years since I played this game regularly, and it honestly, I think it is even better than when I put it down, because I don't know if it's just the break from the game that really built up the want or the need, or I don't know what it was, man, but we got back into that game and we were just giggling like schoolgirls. It was so fucking, I was going to say cute, but it was funny. That sounds better. Yeah, we play Skate 3, and then afterwards, Desmond keeps me up a little bit later than I would have liked, and I was only able to finish 1/2 of a chapter of Contact Harvest. Upsetting stuff, man. I gotta get my reading in. Gotta get my words. It's very important, even though, like, if you asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have been like, I don't fucking read. But, yeah, I've definitely been trying to make an effort to just get One chapter every day. Only got half of one here, so that kind of sucks. But next up, looks like at 12:10 a.m., I crack open a blueberry twisted tea and I prepare to watch Eraserhead. Oh man, at 1:45, I call it quits on Eraserhead with 40 minutes remaining in the movie. It was I would give it, I don't know, I didn't finish the movie, so I feel like my review is null and moot, but if I had to give one, it would be like a 6.2, maybe. Not for me, but I think I can see why other people would like it. It's a very unique film, I will say that, and not a lot of dialogue. So if you're into the more aesthetic, atmospheric films, where it's also, I believe, all black and white, from what I remember. So if you're into those kind of wackier, zanier, a bit more eclectic films, maybe give Eraserhead a shot. I don't think I'll go back and finish it ever, but hey, it might be for you. After this, it looks like I switched to Age of Ultron because, if you remember, I mentioned a Thor critique. It was just a video basically breaking down all of Thor's appearances throughout the MCU and why some of his appearances are better than others, why most of them are lacking in some core Thor traits. You like what I did there? Nice little rhyme. That was fucking cool. Yeah. And next up, we've got... Oh, did I finish talking about the Thor critique? I guess just after... Oh, that's why it came up. Okay. Yeah, so I switched to Age of Ultron because in that big old Thor critique video I was talking about, the guy specifically calls out Age of Ultron as being like one of the worst films in the MCU. And I thought, it is true. Even Marvel fans, when they talk about Ultron, they seem to talk about it with a level of disdain. Maybe not like some of the newer Marvel movies are actually pretty terrible, in my opinion. If they're for you, that's fine. I'm not trying to throw any shade. Okay, I'm just giving my 2 cents here. But I had to go back and I watched, I think, like the first 40 minutes, was it, of Age of Ultron? Yeah, it looks like I watched about the first 40 minutes of Age of Ultron just to see what the fuss was about. And I'm not gonna lie, man, it's not my favorite movie in the world, but I still like it. I remember thinking it was weaker when I saw it in theaters, but I was also pretty young. So I guess just a kid brain is what was happening there. Not really criticizing the movie as well as I should have been. But yeah, after I finish the first 40 minutes of Ultron, I'm about to get ready to go to bed. And I don't know why, but I just have really random thoughts just pop into my head. Some days, not very often, but it will happen from here and there. But yeah, as I was crawling into bed, for some reason, I was just like, oh man, on one of those episodes of Resident Bummer, I think I was like, I called myself out and I was like, oh yeah, I've never had a girlfriend, never had a first kiss. And I was in bed and it just kind of hit me for some reason. I was like, it's always been the default for me to be like, oh, I've never kissed a girl. It's crazy. But then I started thinking and digging and wondering. And I was like, wait, have I never held a girl's hand before? And I cannot think of a specific instance where I actually like held a girl's hand, unless it was on accident. I could see like maybe like in 3rd or 4th grade, I'm like reaching for a pencil or something on the front of my desk, and then I accidentally, like a girl walks by. I don't even know how that would happen, but that would be the only way it could happen, is if by some sheer accidental force of will. Yeah, that was a bit sad, but I don't really care about that shit anyway, so. Never held a girl's hand. Pretty cool. I'm a loser. Don't you remember? I'm a loser. And that was the final entry for February 8th. looks like we're going to be moving on to February 9th. Oh, this is a bit of a short day, you guys. So at 8 a.m. on Sunday, February 9th, I woke up and I farted like 9 fucking times. Like straight out of getting bed. Straight out of getting out of bed. There we go. Good Lord. And I really fight the urge to splurge. Oh, because I was going to jerk off. I see. Yeah, that's what that means. So I woke up, farted like 9 times, and then I guess I had maybe some morning wood I don't know. But yeah, I fought off my urge to jerk off. Didn't do it. Very nice. Golf claps all around. All right. Next up, it looks like at 9:15, I took a shower, and then I watched episode 38 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. While I do this, I can't stop fucking farting. So it's not necessarily constant, but it's like, it was maybe like 20, 25 farts over the span of like 2 or 3 hours. It was nuts. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fun. I was just laughing at myself every time I would fucking squeeze one out. Just like, holy shit, man, chill out. But next up, 4:30 p.m., I make a new cat profile picture, and then I change at the mall. So, a bit of an aside here. I use Discord. Discord is an application for voice and text and just like a lot of different social aspects. It's a pretty powerful tool, but I use it pretty frequently. Most days I would say that I'm using it. And on this application, Discord, I have had a picture on my little profile to signify that this is me. The picture has, for a very long time now, it's just been a picture of Jeffrey Epstein giving like a smug little grin, cheeky little grin with like his finger and his thumb kind of like outlining his chin. So he's kind of got like just like a shit-eating grin looking straight into the camera. And I don't know why, man. When I first found that photo, something about it spoke to me. I was like, oh, man, this is one of the most prolific pedophiles in America. I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to make him my profile picture. I think that was back in like 2019, or maybe it was 20. I can't remember when all the Epstein stuff first started going down. And at this point, it's been so fucking long. It's crazy. But yeah, I finally decided to change that up because, well, let's be honest, it's been way too long with me pretending to be a pedophile. I mean, it's not even like there's nothing. Let me make this clear, okay? I am not a fan of Jeffrey Epstein. I think he is an evil motherfucker, and he wanted to make like a baby ranch or something. That's like one of another thing I know about him. That's about it. I don't like him. I don't care for him, but man, when I saw that picture of him, like back in 2019, I just knew. I knew it had to be my profile picture. Sorry, not sorry, but that's the fucking way she goes, boys. I just like to be edgy and offensive, I guess. Not like straight to people's faces or anything, but if I'm in a friend group that I'm comfortable with, I can be pretty vile. I mean, just look at this podcast. I like to swear quite a bit on it, but I promise you I can be worse. I promise. I'm kind of filtering myself maybe a little bit here. We're in the areas that need filtering. Let's say that. Okay. We'll go with that, and we'll move on to the next post on my journal, which is at 8 p.m. I head over to my sister's house, and we watch the Super Bowl, and I get to see some of my family. My little nephew, my little almost 1-year-old nephew. I get to check out my little guy. He's always a great see. Is that an expression you can use? A great see? Or if like you see someone, it's great? I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep going with that. A great see. It's a great see, seeing Eli. Next up, 9:40 p.m. I get home, and I wonder if my bumwee is fart condensation. Because, all right, we're getting really into the weeds with this one. So, I'm gonna try and put my heart on my sleeve here. If I ever gamble on a fart, and after I've gambled, I am still unable to suss the situation out, I guess. I'll just try and move my ass around in my chair, see if it feels slick or wet at all. Yeah, I'm sorry for saying this, guys. Wow, this is tough stuff. I'll just kind of shake my ass in my chair, see if there's any slickness or anything gliding. If there's not, then oh boy, here we go. I will I'll just take one of my hands and stick that shit straight down the back of my underpants, and I'll just sort of give some light taps or some light pats around my cheeks and sort of on the inner areas of the cheeks. Guys, I'm really sorry for saying this. That's about it. The long and short of it, I'll just kind of slap around my anal area to get a read on what exactly went down. But yeah, I didn't feel good admitting that one, but oh man, heart on the sleeve. We got this. Oh boy. All right, next up we got 1:05 a.m. I finish what seems to be a very long chapter of Contact Harvest, chapter 5. And then, oh my goodness, you guys, I start watching Atlanta. In my journal here, I have episode 1 and 2 are 9 out of 10s. Wow. I mean, the entire first season might be a 9 out of 10. I fucking love Atlanta, I tell you. That is such a funny show, and the fact that I don't know if it's both written and directed, or if it's just written or just directed by Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, but holy fuck, jealous, dude. What a guy. He can make music, he can make shows, he can make movies. Well, I don't know if he's, no, he did make a movie. I don't know if it's out. I think it came out last year. Something Bando Stone. It was tied to one of his albums. So it was, I still need to see that movie. But I did figure Atlanta's a bit of an older show. So maybe I'll start Atlanta first. And then, well, Atlanta's been so fucking hilarious so far. I think I'm just going to have to watch his movie. I think it's called something about Bando Stone. I'm actually going to look it up right now just because I respect. Oh yeah, can you hear my fucking keyboard? That shit's loud. So loud. Donald Glover, Wikipedia page. Going down, Donald McKinney Glover. Okay, what about his career? Writing and acting. 2024, I believe, was when his... Wait. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. That's just about Star Wars. Whatever. I'm not gonna spend more time wasting. God damn, Fulcrum. You're a fucking idiot. Get it together, dude. Next up, we have, should be our 4th entry for this week, Monday, February 10th. Excuse me, gotta clear the throat. It looks like on this day at 10 a.m. I wake up, shit, shave, shower, the classic triple S, and try to watch some Atlanta before work, but I can't because the totally legal website that I use to totally legally consume this show just wants to buffer all the time. Buffer. Shit's annoying, and definitely not a fan of that, but looks like next up I clock into work at... it must have been 11. I clocked in, but I only got to my journal at 1:25. Looks like Anna tries to talk to me about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I immediately shut that shit down because I'm not going to lie, she's not the greatest coworker. She's also not the greatest individual, but yeah, as a coworker, I'm not going to I'm not going to talk to her about that. She's pretty damn annoying. She's always nagging, like, do this, do that. I know what I have to do. I've been working at this job for 3 years. You don't have to fucking tell me what to do, Anna, you bitch. Yeah, shut that down. God, let me try that again. Fuck. I shut that shit down quick. And then I head on break after she clocks out. Thank Christ, don't have to deal with her anymore that day. 2:30 p.m., there's another entry. I wait for an old guy walking in slow motion to leave the bathroom hallway. And I realize that I'm much more of a prick in my head than in person. I have such a massive capacity to, just call people the worst things inside of my head, or just like narrate to them in the worst ways. Like while I was waiting for this dude to walk out of the hallway, I'm sure the only thing running through my head was, oh my God, you old fuck. Oh my God, keep going. I need to get through. Oh my God, old bastard. So I'm sure that I don't think I will ever have the capacity to just shit on people like that in person. I'd get my ass beat doing some shit like that. But yeah, just a weird little thought I had about this old guy walking through my store. Next up at 3:40 p.m., I finally decide to ask Benjamin, my favorite fucking work buddy, Benjamin. Oh my gosh. I have to ask him why he decides to dip in and out of the kitchen after every conversation we have. So this is a bit of a tangent. Shouldn't be too long, but basically whenever there are no customers in our store, he will walk all the way back to the kitchen where I'm typically cooking and doing stuff. And he will just sit there and just say some of the most inane shit. Like he constantly interrupts my break. So he basically just does the same shit all day when I'm on a break or when I'm not. I've learned to deal with it. I try and be nice to him, and flow the conversation naturally while also looking for like any quick end to just get me out of there. I need a quick out. Like, get me out, please. I can't keep doing this with you, Benjamin. You fuck. But yeah, he tells me that the reason he walks away from the kitchen and then like 5 seconds later he'll walk back and start another conversation, the reason he does that is because the previous store he worked at did not have a bell attached to the front door. So he really had no idea when customers were coming in the store or leaving the store. And he's just been so ingrained by a Pavlovian principle to do that. He can't bring himself to stop. And I just think it's like one of the funniest things ever, man. It's pretty fucking annoying, but it's also just hilarious, man. Because out of the corner of my eye, I will see him. He'll stand there. He'll be saying something to me, and then he'll walk away. Oh my gosh, dude. His shadow is such a tell, too. I can see his shadow coming up and down the door every time he walks away, and it is just so hilarious to me. Oh, man, I can't tell if it pisses me off or makes me laugh more, but it's fucking funny. And, man, I'm not gonna lie, I really wish Benjamin would just leave me alone. But I'm gonna have to keep pretending, and we'll all be okay, I guess. Enough about Benjamin, though. 3:50 p.m. Oh, well, fuck me. Never mind, this next one's about Benjamin, so I guess we're having some more Benjamin talk. He gets revenge by interrupting yet another one of my breaks. What did I say? He's always interrupting my fucking break. Bitch. 5:45, looks like I leave about 45 minutes early from work. Yeah, I just straight up lied and said that my cousin had a birthday party, but I didn't want to be there anymore, so just lied, because, fuck Benjamin. Sorry, Ben, if you're listening, but even if you were, your name isn't Benjamin. I'm so sneaky. Yeah, so I leave work early and head out to the mall, finish up Megan's albums. I believe I also went through her singles. Yeah, that sounds right. I did go through Megan Trainor's singles. Oh man. Oh gosh. So I started after I finished Megan Trainor's singles. Oh gosh. I started Lana Del Rey's discography. So I'm sure well, first off, there's nobody listening, but if there were, anybody listening would know who Lana Del Rey is. She's pretty extremely popular artist. I think like halfway through January, I had that friend Jack. Oh yeah, Jack. We were talking about music, and he got pretty in depth on how he didn't like Lana Del Rey, and he was like, "Oh yeah, some friends that listen to her, and I listen to every album, but I hate it, and I don't know how people can like her music." And as a spectator looking in, I sort of thought, I don't think I will ever be going through her music. Well, about a month later, I was looking for a new artist to explore the music of. And for some reason, I decided to put Lana's name on my list of artists I plan to listen to. And yeah, I just opened up the list when I finished Megan Trainor, and I saw Lana Del Rey, and I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I guess I can go through Lana right now. And I did. And her stuff is not the greatest, I will say. But there were, I think, 9 different songs that I got added to the playlist. Doing Time. Man, Doing Time. That is such a good song. I had no idea Lana, excuse me, did Sublime cover, or a Sublime cover. I'm sure that's the only one she's done, but I didn't notice anything else in her discography that was Sublime related, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm losing my train of fucking thought. But yeah, Jack was like, don't do it. And I didn't listen. More on that in today's episode, just you wait. After I go and start Lana's discography at 9 p.m., I get home and I read 2 more chapters of Contact Harvest. Then I play a little bit of BioShock, and I start searching through Polyphia, a music artist. I'm not gonna lie, I've gotta get this off of my chest. Until about maybe like a month ago, or maybe, no, I think it was like a week or 2 ago, I was calling them Polyphia. Well, and to be fair, I have no idea if one or the other is correct, but Polyphia sounds a little bit more natural than Polyphia. Polyphia. God damn, somebody kill me right now. Yeah, so I start up some Polyphia, and after that, at 11:25, I make some pepperoni pizza rolls, and I try to start a movie called A Fish Called Wanda. That is the name of the movie, A Fish Called Wanda. I can't start it because buffering, great, and bullshit, so I swap over to watch some Fuckface History, that podcast again. Just gonna bring it up again because you should probably go watch it, even though you're not here, because you're probably watching it, listening to it, whatever. Next up, we have 1:20 a.m. I watch another episode of Atlanta. It is still great, you guys. It is still great, as I mentioned before. The first season is pretty fucking fantastic, in my opinion. Then I head to bed after that episode, and I move on to the 5th day in this set of journal entries. This would be Tuesday, February 11th, and at 8 a.m., I woke up around 7:30, and I can't fall back asleep. Oh, God. And I noticed there is some, what I assume to be pre-cum on, and like around my urethra. And then like every 5 or 10 minutes, there's just like a fresh batch that's delivered to my urethra. Really, really weird. I think maybe I've had this happen to me in the past. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And because I feel like I remember waking up and like just a tiny little bit of my boxers feel like wet or damp for some reason. And I'm like, what happened here? I didn't piss the bed, did I? There's no way. This is just like one drop of piss. That doesn't happen. No, it was, yeah, I was leaking, bro. My pre was, escaping. I don't know why that was happening. Also, I do apologize for mentioning any of this. This is terrible stuff nobody needs to know about, but hey man, heart on the sleeve. You know me. Next up, we've got 8:45. Another great entry. My dick is still leaking pre-cum, and I know it is not piss. I heavily debate taking a shower just because I feel pretty gross and all preed up. So, not a great feeling, you guys. Next up at 10:20 a.m., I participate in my biannual cry session, and I feel refreshed as ever after listening to the Ellie Badge. A little bit of an aside here. I'm a decently emotional person, probably more than the average person. I will say I cried at the end of watching Friends. I cried at the end of that 70s show. I cried at the end of The Office. I cried at the end of Lost. I cry if there's like a media product that really hits me in a certain way. I have absolutely no issues just shedding a couple tears. And it's weird because if I'm watching something that makes me cry, it is typically they are typically just like gloriously happy tears or bittersweet tears sometimes, where it's like mostly like straight faced, and I'm just kind of like the single tears are rolling down my cheek every minute or so, and it's just such a great feeling to get so emotionally invested into something and then just have that release right there at the end. It's a very unique feeling, I can't lie. And yeah, so I'm a bit of an emotional person. But if it's ever been a little bit too long since I've watched like a good show that makes me cry, or like maybe a good movie makes me shed a tear or two, I'll notice that it starts building up in my body, and I just start feeling a little bit sad. Nothing too noticeable, and I'm sure it's nothing that I even express in an outward way to people around me, which I think I prefer. I'm a pretty private person, so if you want to know what's going on in my head, you gotta make it work, man. You gotta try. At least get to know me a little, then I could let my guard down. But yeah, I'm normally a pretty private person, and I will, if I'm ever feeling like it's built up too far, I'll just play the song from Up, the Ellie Badge. It's a pretty sad song in my opinion. I mean, it's a very classically sad song. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who are like, really? You're gonna cry at that? I've heard that like a million times, and it's like, obviously it's so obviously supposed to be sad and make you cry that I could never even dream of crying about it. But hey, it works for me, so I just slap that on. It's a super short song too, which is nice because it lets me just crack that shit out, bust it out, get a good cry, and then I'll be like, ready to take on the next half of a year. So fucking stupid, man. All right. So after my dick is done leaking pre-cum, and after I get done crying, looks like I clock into work, and James, oh boy, James gets a talking to today, man. He gets called up to the main big store for a deluxe talking to. I can only assume that there was some real serious finger wagging going on, because he did not sound happy when he came back to the store, man. He was in a foul mood, and he still is. I saw him today at work, and man, he's He is so done with our place of work. He is just, God, you look at him and he looks like he's about to fucking explode or deflate, and I can't really tell which one it is. It's not a good scenario to be in. You want to know that stuff. But next up, 3:15, James has a heart-to-heart with another one of our coworkers. If you remember Hugo or Hurley, they have a heart-to-heart because Hugo was actually snitching to upper management on James. So James figured out this was happening, and James called Hugo over, and James was like, Hugo, why are you snitching on me, man? And they had I didn't try and eavesdrop because I don't really like either of those two. So whatever they want to say to each other, it's for their ears and their ears alone. I honestly don't even want to know what was talked about. But I had a little thought. I was like, oh man, this is a W for the boys, bro. Women could never do this, right? Hey, shout out to all the boys listening right now, which is 0. And shout out to all the girls listening right now, which is 0. Yeah, there's nobody listening to this, is there? Fuck. Next up, looks like James decides to call his wife, who is apparently some sort of labor expert. She used to work in some kind of, maybe like an HR position or labor executive position. I really don't know. But his wife apparently knows quite a bit about that shit. And she says to him that they are creating a hostile work environment, which is interesting. The excuse that they gave is because, one, they had Hugo, our manager, I think, actually specifically spoke to Hugo and was like, hey, Hugo, if you ever see James doing something wrong or think he's doing something wrong, or if you are uncomfortable by something he says, make sure you tell it to me so I can get him in trouble. So, yeah, Hugo is definitely being a little bit of a snitch, a little bit of a rat. That's fine. I'm never going to do it, but honestly, James kind of deserves it, so nothing too wrong with that, in my opinion. I also am not a huge fan of Hugo or Hurley, so I honestly don't really care which one of them wins and which one of them loses. I just kind of like spectating. It's pretty fun. Next up, looks like I changed out at the mall after I clocked out, and I continued listening to Lana Del Rey's, albums, excuse me. This is where I find the Doin' Time song. Oh man, that's a good one. Doing Time is what I found, and then the next entry is gonna be at 8:55. Looks like Desmond and Michael, they both invite me to play some Black Ops 6, and we play until Desmond goes to bed, and by proxy, Michael. They pretty much go to bed at the same time. 10:40 p.m., I read another chapter of Contact Harvest, and there was actually a pretty cool sounding knife fight with needles. If you've never played Halo before, there's a gun in the game called a needler. It uses like these pink shards as ammunition. But I think it sounded like they were taking these little shards of ammunition and just using them as like throwing knives, which was interesting. I'd never even really considered the Halo IP, messing around with that concept, which I don't know why I wouldn't have considered that. It seems like a pretty natural transition for something that uses blade-like ammunition to repurpose it into a knife of some type, I guess. But it was pretty cool. I liked it. And next up at 12:30 a.m., surf through the second album of I almost said it, Polyphia, not Polyphia, before I watch A Fish Called Wanda. I believe I crack open like a little wine cooler box thingy as I'm watching A Fish Called Wanda. Forgot to write that down, but I do remember getting absolutely plastered while watching that movie. Yeah, I go to bed very drunk. Wanda, A Fish Called Wanda, is an 8.5 out of 10. That is a very good movie. And It looks like in my journal, I'm just going to read quote for quote this journal entry real quick. Go to bed very drunk. Wanda is 8.5/10, and I love going to be drunk. I definitely could have just fixed that typo, but as I was drifting off, I was like, it's funnier if I keep it, right? Reference it in the podcast, right? No, this doesn't seem to be very funny at all, Fulcrum. So, fix your shit, buddy. But anyways, next up, we are going to Wednesday, February 12th. This was the 6th day in my entries. The first entry for this day is 9:30 a.m. I wake up and enjoy a little bit of Bioshock while combing my master music playlist. I'll just throw on the playlist with all I think I'm almost up to 1,500 songs now in that playlist. So I just shuffle that shit. And of course, Spotify Shuffle sucks asshole. But I feel like with the amount of songs I have in my playlist, it doesn't really matter how bad the shuffle is, just because there's so much shit in there that more often than not, it's going to shuffle to a decent part of the playlist. Or, okay, don't get me wrong, the entire playlist is fucking great. But, excuse me, I had to burp right there. Oh my gosh. But, I prefer a shuffle feature to not only shuffle the artists, but the songs. I feel like you would want the songs shuffled, but when I hit the shuffle, sometimes it just fucking plays a song that it already played like 5 songs ago. And I'm like, there are 1,500 fucking goddamn songs in this playlist, and you can't pick a single one other than the one that you just played like 10 minutes ago? What is going on, Spotify? But yeah, I just spent a little bit of time trying to shuffle through my playlist and clean it up a little bit, see if there's anything in there that I forgot about, or maybe there's something in there that I don't particularly care for anymore. That's always the worst feeling, man. That's always the worst feeling, taking a song out of that playlist that's been in there since Lord knows when. Sucks. But next up, it looks like I dropped my car off at an undisclosed automobile dealership, and my dad picks me up after I drop my car off. Looks like at 1:15, I begin watching Fierce Creatures. The buffering decides to attack again, and while it's buffering, I schedule a call with a temp agency. I actually got a phone call, I think around like 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, February 12th, from a temp agency, and they were informing me that there was a job opportunity that I might be interested in taking. So, of course, I feel like out of respect for my parents for letting me crash in their fucking house for 20 some odd years, I feel like out of respect, I've got to at least try. Even if the duties or tasks aren't necessarily what I'm looking for, or they don't seem overly interesting, I just want to give my parents the message that I'm trying. I'm really trying, but shit, man. Shit, they don't want me. Nobody wants me, goddammit. Motherfuckers, they don't want me. I tell them I want them and they tell me I don't fucking want them. What? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, goddammit. Let me get on to the next point. Let me read the next motherfucking journal entry, goddammit. Where the fuck is it at? Let me get my head straight here, god fucking damn it, dude. Alright, yeah, so my dad picks me up. I get back home from the dealership and I begin... Oh, dude, I already fucking read this. You fucking idiot. The temp agency, blah, blah, blah. 2:25, I dropped back off at the dealership. Get ready to finish Fierce Creatures. When I get back home, it continues to fucking buffer for like another half hour of watching it. So there's like 20 minutes left in the movie at this point, and I'm just like, I'm going to watch the last 20 minutes when I get home because this is pissing me off too much. So I get dressed, go out to the mall, and While I'm out there, it was a bit of a snowy day, and the mall decided to close early. I don't think I had ever witnessed that happen while I was there. And it was very, very strange to walk around for like a minute or two with just like a completely empty mall, especially considering it was this is the mall that I've been visiting since I was born, pretty much. I mean, I live like 5 minutes away from it, so it's always right there, always ready. Not today, though. Not that day, I should say. They fucking closed that shit up like 4 hours early. It was like 3 hours early. Still, that was crazy. Never seen that happen before. So after it closes, I finally get home and finish Fierce Creatures. That was an 8.5 out of 10 movie, even with all of the buffering. Couldn't hold it back. What a good movie. I highly recommend you watch it. It is a comedy. Same with A Fish Called Wanda. And they're also like kind of like a pair. They share a lot of the same actors, and it's kind of like a sequel, but it's is there a word for like a faux sequel, like a fake sequel, where it like carries a lot of the actors and stuff, but none of the plot points are really the same at all? I don't know. I'm getting into another tangent, and I feel like I'm about to start spouting some dumb shit, so I'm getting on to the next entry in our journal. My journal, not yours. It's mine. Yeah, the mall closed early. Okay, so after I finish Fierce Creatures, I watch another 3 episodes of Atlanta. Man, this show, Atlanta, so good. I know I've already said it, but I would highly recommend you give it a shot if you have not. Next entry is 10:20 p.m. I finish the document and sign it for the temp agency after a few hours of playing BioShock. Yep, so I decided to play BioShock before I finished that document for the temp agency because, I'm not gonna lie, I totally fucking forgot about that document until like 10:30 at night. And I was like, I should probably go do that instead of being a lazy fucking asshole playing video games. Oh, yeah, probably a good idea. And then after that, 11:30 p.m., I crop dusted the fuck out of my mom's door with just like some nasty farts as I prepared to watch Donnie Darko. I was feeling gassy yet again right as I went past her door, so I let that shit rip. I hope she heard it. That'd be fucking funny. That'd be really funny. I don't know what time this entry is from. I have a little question mark on it, but looks like I fell asleep while I was watching Donnie Darko. I'm gonna have to finish that one later. And speaking of which, our next day is coming up. That was the final entry for Wednesday, February 12th. Moving on to Thursday, February 13th, the 7th day in this set of entries. At 9 a.m., I wake up at 7 a.m. Well, that doesn't make any sense. So at 9 a.m., I started the entry, but I woke up at 7 a.m. I looked at memes for about an hour. Then I finished Donnie Darko. I think maybe I got like 30 or 40 minutes in before I fell asleep. And so I just picked up from like the 30-minute mark, and everything I was recognizing, I was like, okay, yep, I've seen this part. I know about this. Then I got to the sweet spot, started from there, and that was a pretty good movie. I'd give it, I think, did I already say my rating? 8.3 is what it is if I didn't, but very confusing. I'm not going to lie. A little confusing. Well, is it very confusing or a little confusing? Make up your fucking mind, Fulcrum. Anyways, moving on to the next journal entry. 12 p.m. I clock in, and James says that he has talked to his lawyers. Hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. James has gotten on the horn with his lawyers, and he knows what he's going to do. He's going to sue the shit out of this company for every penny it's fucking worth. Oh, fuck yeah. Get him, James. You get him, buddy. Next up at 1:50 p.m., there's an older lady, maybe like 40s or 50s. She comes up and she asks, she's asking for a product. She can't find it. So I go around the counter and to the shelf, and looks like we are totally out of said product. And I just tell her, yeah, sorry, we're totally out of that. Apologies. She comes with like one of the best responses. I think I might have misheard her. I don't know if this is actually what she said. I'd be very surprised if it was, but I'm just going to believe this is exactly what she said because it's funny as fucking hell to me. She says what I believe to be, oh, good. I thought I was totally being a woman there. And I just, I try to contain it as best as I can while in the store, but man, that was funny. Holy cow. I could not stop laughing. Eesh. All right, next up at 2:55 p.m. Oh, damn. Damn. I forgot to, I'm going to have to do this live on the podcast. Shit. I have to come up with a name for like the ultra manager at my fucking Hy-Vee. Oh, God. What name can I give to my ultra, like high, top tier director type person? Gosh, I gotta think really quick though, because I'm burning daylight here on this freaking podcast. What could it be? What could her name be? Let's go with Sun. I like Sun. So, at 2:55 p.m. on Thursday, February 13th, Sun and Jacob. Oh, I bet you don't remember Jacob, but he was in, I believe, the first episode. He's also another higher up manager. But yeah, it's Sun and Jacob. Come on down to the store, a little side store that I work in. And they just start barking all kinds of orders at us, like, oh, this shelf looks dirty, you need to go and wipe it down. And, oh, this thing, this appliance, it looks dirty, and I need you to wipe it down. I don't know why I'm censoring pizza warmer. I don't think I really need to do that. It was a pizza warmer, was the appliance. She's like, oh, you gotta wipe this shit down. Looks fucking disgusting. You animals. If you have time to stand up there behind the counter looking at your phone, you have time to come and clean this. And to be fair, she's totally fucking right. But it's also like, you're usually not down here, so I usually don't have to deal with this. Just getting called out on my shit. Yeah, that's fine. Next up at 5 p.m., I go on to my break and I scan for any kind of opening to send Jack, my middle school buddy. I need to send him a little bit of a weird question. Not really weird. I just asked what his middle name was because we've been friends since middle school, and I realized I have never asked what his fucking middle name was. That's depressing. And I felt kind of like a rotten shit when I figured that out. So I knew I had to course correct that immediately after I found it out. I was like, oh, I don't even know his full name. Oh my God, we've known each other for like 12 or 13 years now, and I literally do not know what his full name is. That was a bit sad, I can't lie. But at 8:45 p.m., I clock out of the mall. Jesus Christ, I'm going insane. I clock out of work, and while I am clocked out of work, on the drive over to the mall, or maybe it was, I sent the weird question. I asked Jack what his middle name was, I think while I was still at work, maybe like half an hour before I was going to leave. And after that, he responded and he was like, oh yeah, my middle name is this. He totally called me out on my shit though. He was like, it's kind of a weird time to be asking this personal question, right? Like 13 years after we meet? What the fuck is wrong with you, you idiot? And I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong. I am basically like a fucking idiot. And there's a lot of things wrong with me, dude. So yeah, I'm just trying to play catch up here real quick because I've been like, I don't want to say bad friend, but maybe I have to. I mean, I don't think I've been like a terrible friend to him, but I've had certainly had the capacity to act like a jackass in front of him, and that's unfortunate. But we just got to try and do a little bit better every day, and that's what I'm doing, I guess. That's what I am trying. But yeah, we had a really pretty great conversation today over Discord. I'm not certain the exact timeline, so I think I asked him his middle name while I was at work, and then might have stopped texting or Discording for like, I think 10-15 minutes while I drove out to the mall. Oh, and then I think as I was pulling into the parking lot of the mall, he actually started hitting me back up with some more messages, and I was like, yes, this is what I need. This is how we reel them in. And ladies and gentlemen, we had like a 2 or 3 hour conversation, just over text, mind you. So nothing like, we're not like getting all up in each other's vocal feels or whatever, but we're just hashing it out because it's been far too long since, there's the pop filter scratching up on the mic. It's been far too long since we've hashed it out like this. And we had a bit of these kind of conversations earlier this year. Some longer combos, like 20 or 30 minutes of talking. And it was very nice. And it was like, yes, I remember this feeling. And it was like, yes, I need to do my best to recapture this feeling. Anyway, anyhow, what's another word with any? Any belly button. There you go. I'm going to stop talking about this stupid shit now because I feel like a moron who just stabbed himself in the heart. So next up, I think this might have been this was like 15 minutes before the mall closed, like 7:45 p.m. I was sitting out at the mall bench while I was talking to Jack, and some random fucking dude named Rory, he was like a ginger guy. I think he said he was 18, and he notices my watch as he's walking by, as I'm sitting down on the bench, and he's like, "Whoa, dude, that's a sick watch. What do you do for a living?" And I was like, "Well, believe it or not, I work at X and Y." And he was just like, "Oh, really? Where'd you get the watch from?" And I was like, "This was a birthday present." I don't think I've actually mentioned this on this podcast, so I guess I can throw this little aside in here real quick. The first really big boy, like heavy watch I ever got was not a birthday present. I was incorrect in saying that, but it was actually a present that I received from my father, and you probably wouldn't guess it, but he gave me the present after I totaled my first car. I'm not sure why I didn't just go out and total another car. Get another sick fucking watch, man. I could have one on each wrist. That'd be cool. All it would cost is like $80,000 plus just like all the legal fees and shit. I don't know. Stop asking me to be smart. I don't want to do it. That's not why I'm here, you fucks. I want to be dumb and talk about my shitty life. But yeah, some random guy named Rory gives me his number, and I think he actually texted me about an hour and 5 minutes ago, and I still haven't responded because I'm doing a motherfucking podcast, bitch. All right, enough of that. I'm going to move on to the next entry and forget about Rory. What a weird fuck. 9:20 p.m. I shake off my podcast jitters and step up to bat for episode 3 of Resident Bummer. And that is all of our journal entries for this week, folks. And you've done it again. You piece of fuck. Another heap of doo-doo that you can pretend that you have never listened to before has come and gone. Nothing but smooth sailing on the outro this time, guys. I can't think of a funny bit that I can put here to start the outro, so I figured I'll give you one of my favorite would you rather questions that I've concocted thus far. Now, although technically, this is more of a would you or won't you question, more than it is a would you rather question. But anyways, let's get on to the fucking question already. God dang, dude. If you say yes to my deal, then first off, all of your food that you purchase for the rest of time will never spoil. Second off, you can immediately find any lost item that is in... Fuck, I already fucked it up. Okay, I'm going to restart the question. So, first off, all of your food will never spoil. Second off, you can immediately find a lost item that is within 100 feet of your person. Third up, you have innate night vision, better than a cat's. But here's where the tricky part comes in. The only way for you to get a lasting erection is to shove 2 metal rods entirely through the shaft of your penis. And you have to keep them there for 10 minutes. There won't be any wounds after you remove the metal rods. They're going to heal, just like David Blaine's pencil trick. If you've ever seen David Blaine shove pencils into his forearm, it's pretty disgusting, but he pulls them out and then his arm is just totally fine. And the pain of this procedure will be manageable. It's not going to be 100% of the real pain that someone would really feel if they were really shoving metal rods into their penis. But it's also going to be 100% present, or 100%, that was poor phrasing, man. It's going to be like 50% present. How about that? You'll get like 50% of the normal dosage of pain. And I don't even know how you would measure that out. I'm sure that there's a measurement of pain units somewhere. So it's some stupid name if I had to guess, but yeah, that's the question. You never have any food spoil. You find any item within 100 feet of your person, and you have innate night vision, but you have to shove 2 metal rods entirely through the shaft of your penis if you want an erection. Did you like my little question? I'm sure that was so much better than a shitty little bit that I could have prepared for this already terrible outro. Fuck, this one might be worse than last week's, but who cares? If anyone were actually listening, I would tell them to, get lost. I don't want you around here, you fucking bitches. But then I would tell them that I appreciate them, because they're fucking idiots, and they are stinky dumb bastards. Because somehow they're brain dead enough to just come back, I guess, and listen to me. Oh, and speaking of listening, who wants to listen to our favorite question again? Am I really making a podcast, or am I just jerking off?